This is 89.7 WNKU. I'm Michael Grayson. Thanks for being with us this morning. We have a very special guest in the studio.
Hey, Michael.
Tommy Emmanuel joining us here with a beat-up old guitar. Can you actually play that thing?
Can I? Let's hear it.
I guess it's holding up all right.
If you take a little compression off it, it'll sound good.
All right.
There you go.
There's the boss over there. Tommy Emmanuel is in town tonight. Actually in town last night over at St. Xavier High School, and one more show tonight. St. Xavier High School over in Finneytown. And thank you very much for being with us today. We've just enjoyed your music immensely here. And I got to tell you, there have been about a half dozen people who have been trying to break down the door this week, saying, "Hey, can I get in there while Tommy's there?" Just to watch him. I said,
it's a lookout.
I said, "No, you may not."
There you go. You're the boss.
I'm the boss.
You're the boss. That's right.
Thanks for being. Can you play a tune for us? Get us started.
I saw you doing the weather there. Yeah, absolutely. Here's a song from my Endless Road album, which you've got there.
In my hand.
This is a song I wrote for a dear friend of mine who left this world way too soon. His name was Tommy Jones, and I wrote this song for him called Old Town.
Tommy Emmanuel live in the studios at WNKU. All right, okay, that's real good.
Thank you.
So, I got to ask you. Are you playing in a couple of guitar geek questions?
Okay.
Standard.
I'll
tuning?
give you a couple of guitar geek answers.
Okay. You're playing in a standard tuning?
Yeah, just normal tuning. I'm no good in open tunings.
Yeah, but
I don't play anything at all in dadgad. A lot of guitar players these days play in dadgad, and it has a particular sound, and I really like it, but it totally throws me, you know.
Yeah. Well, I've been dabbling in it. It's a good compensator for those of us who can't play like that.
Well, see, I do things to try and get an open, almost an open tuning sound, like with that.
Right.
I'm willing to stretch my hand that far to get that sound.
Your hand is going, if I can see exactly, it's 12 frets your fingers are stretched.
They're stretching a long way. And like that kind of stuff, and using these shapes. And then those kind of shapes. You know.
Watching me just stare at your fingers as if I could actually figure it out.
Oh, it's not brain surgery, brother.
It's great. Now, you're from Australia.
Yeah. I was born in Australia, raised there, and I don't live there anymore. I live here in the United States. And, you know, although I grew up in Australia, I've always listened to American music. I think the only music out of England that I listened to was the Beatles and Rolling Stones and stuff like that. But the music that really touched my soul came right from here, from Nashville. And I remember when I was a little boy, everybody listened to Hank Williams and Marty Robbins. And then along came Merle Haggard and changed the whole world. What a songwriter, what a player, what a singer.
And that guy, Chet Atkins, what's his name?
Yeah, Chet, of course. Well, I had lots of influence. I still do, you know. I listen to everybody. I'm not stuck on just listening to guitar players. In fact, I very rarely listen to just guitar music. I usually always listen to singer-songwriters.
Could tell me about your guitar, too.
All right. This is a little Maton guitar, M-A-T-O-N.
And it really is all beat up. But that's a good sign.
It's fairly new.
Are you that rough on it?
I got it in 2003. It was brand new in 2003.
You've been playing pretty hard on that, then.
Well, yeah. Well, the other thing is that you see that if I turn the guitar over and you look at the back of the neck, you see that I've actually worn that off just by the finish. I've worn that off just by playing so much. But all these marks here
from percussion.
Yeah, that's right. And I mean, I marked all that up with a pick, and I play it with a brush. So I play like a percussion solo and use a plastic brush on it, and I've marked the face up so I can play like a, and then I just sing over the top of it. So with my left hand, well, I'm playing the bass with my left hand, then like a brush part. So you get like when I do Merle Travis's 9-Pound Hammer, I go roll on, buddy. Well, don't you roll so slow? How can I roll when the wheels won't go? Yeah. Roll on, buddy. Why do you roll so slow? Well, how can you roll when the wheels won't go? So forth.
That's accounting for the fact that you're using 3 hands and only have 2. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Very nice. That's got to have some good action on it, too, to be able to...
Oh, absolutely. Now, my philosophy is this, Mike. Playing the guitar is already hard enough. Why make it harder by having a heavy action, you know?
What a concept!
It makes no sense, you know? So get your guitar set up so it's really comfortable to play. Make sure the neck is dead straight. But get that action lowered down, and you won't want to put that baby down.
That's the first thing I did with mine. Was
what have you got?
I have a Taylor.
Oh,
Taylor 410.
Bob Taylor makes good guitars.
It's a wonderful guitar. It's my dream guitar. Had an old Ovation that I pretty well beat to the ground.
Yeah.
But I had it, and I was adjusting the neck on it, and I just got out the wrench, and just got out a wrench on the Ovation because it had gotten so bad.
Yeah.
That I thought I got to do something with it, and I'm sitting there with my car tools, just with a socket wrench on this thing, and my daughter's going, Dad, no, you're going to break it, and I said, well, then I'll get a new one, because I didn't want it anyway.
And then
it got it down to where it actually became a new guitar to me.
See, yeah. This is the thing that people don't realize how important it is that the guitar is set up properly. When the neck is at the right angle, when everything's right, a guitar has a lot more dynamics in it and a lot more tone than if the action's not right. There are things that just won't come out, and of course, but basically you're not going to want to play it.
And there's one other factor to add to that: incredible talent, which we have sitting here. Can you play another tune?
Sure, I can. Yeah. Let's see.
This is Tommy Emmanuel in the studios of WNKU. Tommy's playing tonight out at St. Xavier High School, Finneytown.
This is a song I wrote dedicated to George Harrison, one of my favorite songwriters. This is called Papa George.
He's smiling now, saying, I like that.
I hope so, George.
Very nice. That's Tom Emmanuel here in the studios of WNKU. I'm going to ask you, one of the things I was going to ask is I was listening to your CDs, I'm going, he can't possibly play those things the same way every time.
What's that?
The songs. I'm listening to songs. I said, I'm listening to, I guess it was Endless Road and some of the other ones on there, and the Game Show Rag.
Game Show Rag, yeah.
I'm listening. I said, how can he possibly play it the same way each time? But I'm watching you play.
Well, I wrote the song.
Well, I know that. But I keep thinking he must make it up. He must have just made it up as you went along and said, okay, that take sounded good. Let's give it a title, and we got it. So.
All right. Well, now with Game Show Rag, I wanted to record Mel Travis's Cannonball Rag, but I didn't want to just do Cannonball Rag. I needed to put my own stamp on things. So I thought I'll write something that will lead me into Cannonball Rag. And then I started thinking about, come on down, those game shows, where the music, because there's lots of, the music's really over the top. So, I wrote Game Show Rag as a totally over-the-top piece where everything's moving. You listen. Come on down.
I'm coming.
You right?
I'm coming down.
And then... right? So forth, and then...
See, you've answered my question now, because you are playing that exactly the same, it's the same way.
And there's no reson to mess with that song. Right?
I know, it's just a great song.
Yeah, well, thank you. But songs like Endless Road, Angelina, Man with a Green Thumb, songs like that, I don't mess with those songs. I play them as I wrote them. Other songs where there's improvisation or whatever, so like some nights when I play the song Windy and Warm, which was a big hit for Chet Atkins, some nights I'll play it really slowly like this. Really funky. And other nights I'll go, it just depends on how I feel.
Now, when you're writing a song, is it in your head first, or does it just appear in your fingers?
It's usually at the same time. Yeah, usually I'll get an idea. For instance, I was watching this movie, Moonraker, the James Bond movie, and one of the things I loved about that movie was the theme, and it was written by a great man named John Barry, and Shirley Bassey sang it. But the one thing I loved about it was this chord, and the melody was "Where are you?" Then he hit the same chord but with the E bass. Why do you hide? Beautiful sound. I just from that one sound, I thought I got to have that chord and I got to write something around it. So I wrote a song called Ruby's Eyes using this here. Hear that sound? And so I had that part. I thought, well, that's really nice. Now I got to make a statement. Now, you'll notice something about all my melodies is that I don't think like a guitar player. I think I'm writing music for someone to sing. That's what I aim at. Everything has to be melodic and singable. Very much. Now that you mentioned that, very much so. I always tell guitar players, don't think like a guitar player. Think like a singer in a band, Think beyond the box. Get out of the box and don't just try to write something for the guitar. Write music and that is singable and memorable. That's what I try to encourage people to do. You have a couple of instructional DVDs. Yeah, I have some new ones coming, which have the next instructional DVD has 5 songs from the album only, 5 from Endless Road and 5 from The Mystery. So people will be able to learn those songs. I shot it in high definition and with 4 cameras, one of them were on a moving crane. So you can definitely see everything that's going on. All right. Now, I know just by shaking your hand when you came in, I'm pretty sure my guitar skills increased to roughly 40%. Yeah, I would say 40% is a pretty good average. Thanks. Well, I'll be sure to grab the other hand on the way out so the left hand knows what the right hand is doing. Can you do one more song for us before we get out of here? Because left alone here, I would sit here and talk to you for another 3 hours, and I'd have to drag us kicking and screaming out of the studio, and that gets ugly. So yes, it does. It does.
Tommy Emmanuel in the studios of WNKU. Thank you so much. I hope I haven't gushed too much here. But,
thank you. I had my gush filter on. So.
Oh, good. All right, good. Man, I made a mess all over the place.
There was a guy in England with that Northern England accent. He came up to me when he says, "Look, I'm not one for gushing, but it was great." You know.
Well, I agree with him completely, only I can't do the accent.
It was a lot of fun.
Thank you very much. You're welcome here. Anytime you get back through town, please stop in and see us.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. You know, I feel like every time we use your, you have to go into NPR News every hour, and so you're the bump going to NPR News about 3 hours out of 4.
Well, thanks a lot. Where would we be without public radio and public television? I ask you.
I'd be out of work.
Yeah, but
and nobody hear your music.
No,
so I think we're pretty well like them both.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Tommy Emmanuel. Playing tonight out at St. Xavier High School. You can give us a call here in the studio for more details. And thank you very much for being with us.